Hey, kings and queens, royal people, this is Ari. Welcome to Empower Me with Ari. We have a special guest today, and I am super excited to get started. We're going to be talking about leading ladies, leading righteously. As women, we've come a long way from gaining our rights to leading and being respected, and then having and owning our own business. Our voices are so important. And as the virtuous woman was talked about in Proverbs 31, it gave a glimpse of, truly who we are. We lead with integrity, we cover, support our families, and so much more. This lady here today, this lady of influence that we have on our show, is a definition of a virtuous woman. She does it all. I like to introduce mother, wife, entrepreneur, woman of God, and so much more. Welcome, Tanya Morris, to the show. How are you? Can you introduce yourself? What's your story? Tell us more about you.
Hi, Erica. Thank you for having me. Hi, everyone. I am Tanya Morris. I am from Mississippi, and I am an entrepreneur. Yes. So, let me tell you. I'm from Charlottetown, Mississippi. I am a wife. My husband, Damon Morris. We have 3 kids together. Just a hardworking person. Yes. I love to be a leader. I always, just by generational, my parents was an entrepreneur, and it's just been passed down from generation that just been the entrepreneur mindset. So
right.
Yes.
Right,
awesome.
Right. It's actually been amazing. A lot of people don't know, but this is my family, my blood family, my cousin, yes. And I've seen this, face to face as far as the family being an entrepreneur, uncle and son being an entrepreneur, and literally being a wonderful example for his family, for his kids, and showing them the ropes to go. And I think that's amazing.
Yes.
We can feed off of our parents, and just kind of grab that example and then be that for our kids or our kids to come. So when you talk about or think about legacy, I would say that you all have been a prime example of legacy with your dad and stuff, and just watching you guys, how you just grabbed it and just kept moving forward. So so truly this is an honor. This time, I'm telling you, this time spent on the podcast today is an honor, because I'm drinking from your well of wisdom and other stuff that you have to offer, because you've done so much and you've learned so much. And so speaking of that and understanding that it's a process, becoming an entrepreneur and really stepping into the things that God has chosen you for. Was it hard for you to find your voice? Even though you had that example, was it hard for you to say, okay, I'm really going to do this?
Right. No, not really. Because like I say, just by my work ethic, just by growing up, just always having that authority over being, in the entrepreneur spirit. So it was very, very easy for me to embrace that, because I was brought up with that kind of work ethic.
Yes.
So it really wasn't hard. So I just always leader, and my dad always told me that I wasn't clock material. So I took that and I just molded me into what I am today. So it wasn't hard at all. I just stand firmly on the word and just keep moving.
Yes, that is absolutely amazing. It's amazing because I want to it reminds me of kind of stepping outside of the mold, because, and I'm not talking about with the legacy part, but in the so-called like American dream, they'll try to force you to go to school, do all of this, this certain plan, do the 9 to 5, don't step out, and they kind of, in ways, they kind of inject fear into people. But I'm so glad that your dad was like, listen, the 9 to 5 thing, I see you, that's not you. So you know what I mean? So he was honest. He was honest and gave you that, that backing and support that you needed to say, I'm gonna do this. I have the confidence to do this, and I'm going to use my voice. And so was there others that helped you along the way, to be to where you are today, other than your father? Who else was instrumental?
Yes, when I can say, as a little girl, just growing up in school, people just always looked it up to me. And I just felt like, this got to be part of my vision. When I step in the room, people just always, an attention or whatever. So I just asked God to lead me in the right direction. And so that's why I guess it comes so easy for me to embrace this, this path. So that's why I just think it comes real easy for me, because it definitely was a calling on my life.
Yes.
So it does. And so a lot of people around me look up to me. A lot of people, my husband, my classmates, everybody look up to me. So I just had to just stay focused and just that. So that's why I said, you know what? I guess I am a leader. So I embraced that. So I just took everything, did 2 + 2 and made 4. So that's why I guess I'm successful in it, because it was part of my vision.
Yes, that's amazing. And when you talk about people looking up to you and they seeing the gift in you at a young age, being that you're a successful woman of God right now, what would you say to the youth or young ladies, who may be afraid to use their gifts and they really don't know where to start? What would you say to them?
I would say just stay focused. Stay focused. Always write down. Everything is about time management and be patient. Everything is about that. Once you get your all that things in alignment, everything else will fall. I mean, everybody dreams to be a leader or dream to be their own boss, but everybody don't have that same mindset. Right. So everybody got to know their position. And just once you learn your position and where you need to be, it will follow. So if you're young and you say, I want to be a boss one day, you want to do that. I mean, just do your homework, stay focused, be very coachable. And I promise you, everything else will line up.
Wow, that is absolutely amazing. You just really dropped a gold mine. And I'm trying to tell you, I think, and I know that classes have to come out of what you just said. You literally, from what you just said, I collected that this right here is powerful. You said you have to learn your position. Yeah. Learn your position, do your homework, and then stay focused. Have time management and be patient. Oh my goodness. Yeah. This right here literally is a strategy. This right here I know is a successful strategy, because this is stuff that I've learned, but I learned it after the fact. You know what I mean? And so listening to you say this is absolutely amazing. And we need you to do webinars. We need you to do training sessions for youth and for other adults, because sometimes people have the mindset of just success overnight. And they're not patient. They're like, well, like you said, you have this dream. I'm a boss. I'm gonna be my own boss, and they want it like right now, but they don't take the time to do the research. They don't take the time to say, there's things I have to do, and in order to be a successful entrepreneur. And so we need your skills, and so we'll be looking and connecting with you to get that. And so was there any moment that you would say where there was a lot of fear that arose? I mean, I know you are seriously confident, fearless woman, but was there any moment that you could think of where, you dealt with a lot of fear and you like hesitation, like, I don't know if I should move this way? And if so, how did you overcome that?
Well, yes, I have a lot of fear come up against me. But what I did is I just, like I said, I remained focused. I stayed in the word and I asked for guidance. And that's just part of my prayer. Lord, lead me in the right direction. Yeah, you're going to always have that. The spirit of fear going to always follow you, because those are distractions. It don't want you to get to point A or point B, because it wants to stop you in the track. But if you just remain focused, stay prayerful, and ask God to lead you in the right direction, everything else is going to fall in line. The thing is, you just got to, if it's a vision, it's going to fall in place. But you got to have a purpose. So yeah, I always have fear. I come up against fear all the time, but I remain focused. And that is so important, to remain focused. Yes. Yeah, because if it's for you, it's for you. That's
amazing when you think about it, because sometimes when people have fear, they allow it to keep them stagnant. They allow it to keep them in the same place, and they don't use it as like momentum to say, I'm pushing past this. You know, I'm not going to allow it to prevent me from moving forward. So it's amazing to actually hear you say that because of the things that you've accomplished, because it reminds us that we truly can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. And if we're called to something, we're going to be able to produce it, you know? If we were chosen for a specific purpose, then we'll be able to go ahead and produce it if we keep allowing God to guide us. I keep hearing you say that. And I understand, with the family being founded within the things of God and stuff like that, having God as our foundation, I think is important to always have something or look to something that's bigger than you, to be able to have God as the guide, because at the end of the day, we're not going to know everything. And that's why it's important to tune in to him, spend time with him, so that he'll tell us, okay, take this left turn right here. Okay, go this way or go that way. And we may not necessarily see it from the perspective that we're at. So I think that's amazing how in almost every answer that you said, God, I asked God to guide me how to do this. How to do that.
And I'm very, very coachable. Don't know everything, and I invest in myself a lot. That's the number one thing is if you invest in yourself, you'll never go wrong. So I'm always under the leadership of someone, always under the teaching of someone to help me grow. Yes. I remind myself every day to remain humble, regardless of what position I am in, whatever I say in that, to be coachable. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. No, I'm really not just saying this, but and this makes sense because, scripturally it talks about those who humble themselves will be exalted, and the prideful and exalted ones, they're literally humbled, involuntarily. And so listening to, somebody that's successful say, I remain coachable because I don't know everything and I can keep learning things. And as we keep that posture to say, keep pouring into me. We're going to go higher and higher. And, and so
you'll never go wrong.
You'll never go wrong. The principle of remaining teachable. It is. Oh my goodness. That is, that's absolutely amazing. And I'm definitely writing that down, and then investing in yourself. So speaking of investing in yourself, I just want to kind of get your point of view or perspective about this. So, I hear of a lot of the coaches and stuff, and sometimes it may be like, $500,000 or whatever to get a coach. How far do you think a person should go when they're investing in themselves? Do you think that, we should try to research and have every coaching session or be at every seminar, or how do you think people can kind of engage or select what they're supposed to be doing? The coaching wise.
Yeah. Well, you know what? 2 or 3 years, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I used to jump on every bandwagon I see, until one day I made up in my mind. I said, you know what? No one else is going to be able to sell me another dream. So what I did, I said, like back, God, just lead me, guide me in the right direction, because there's a lot of good coaches out here and they are expensive, but you got to know your worth of that coach. So I always do my research. Because, a lot of people's out here, you got to know the difference between a hustle.
That's so true. You get
hustled. To know the difference. Yes, because a lot of people out here, I see her do it, I can do it too. Everybody's not a coach. Sometimes it's just something for people, to make money, side hustle. But if you will be led, just ask God to lead you and to link you up with the right coach.
Right.
Because I think it's a great thing, because I have done it. I have invested in myself, because you don't, because some, people know more than you know.
Right.
Coachable. And again, you cannot be lazy. You can't just expect for the coach to bring everything to the table. You got to also be able to have something at the table as well.
Yes.
So but just do your research and coaching. Yes.
That is so good. Oh my goodness. I know you all are being blessed by this, and you guys will get a chance to get Mrs. Morris information at the end. This is absolutely amazing. It really, really, really is. And so with us talking about all of this stuff, have you ever thought about starting an apprenticeship for youth or for other, I guess, young business owners or people that want to be business owners, some type of like a training program? Okay.
Yeah, that's just something in my plan for 2020. And I also have start for the youth. I want to start an ethnic school here because I feel like we just with the youth, I just want to be able to groom them, you know, because we have a lot of girl bosses want to be girl boss, and you know, and since they already look up to me, I want to offer a mentor program here in my community for the youth. Yes. I'm working on that now for 2020.
Yes, that's absolutely amazing. And if anybody is tuning in that has resources to help Mrs. Morris with her endeavors to help her in Mississippi or wherever you are, go ahead. Like I said at the end, you're going to get the contact information because she is someone that you want to connect with that has a vision and that will carry out the vision that God has given her.
Thank you.
Yes, we got to pour and encourage each other. We have to, because this is the time. This is the time. I know God was just reminding me of that. He says, you know, a gift is to be given away. What he's purposed us for, prepared us for, is not necessarily just for us, but it's for the people that we're going to help. Yeah. And I think some people miss that. But when you get reminded or your mindset's realigned, then it's like we have to go because we're the answer to another person's prayer. You know, God worked through people. And so just hearing you, you know, moving forward and being active in this is such a blessing. And so, being that you're so business oriented, how do you stay on top of the game in your business? And I mean, like balancing, you do so much. How do you balance everything?
Time management. Management. But I do read this quote. I have it in my office. I'll read it to you. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself with everyone else.
Oh, wow. Yes.
So I learned that. I mean, years ago, I used to try to answer everyone question, everyone phone call, and I was losing myself, and I wasn't no good. No one wasn't depositing anything back into me. Everybody was always making that withdrawal, and so I had to stop because I was no good to myself. The business going undone, but when I had to learn to align myself up into doing the right thing, and then everything is full. That's why you always have to be coachable. When you get under the right leadership, when you get in the right position to do things, you have to rearrange some things. And when you get ready to grow, you got to be ready to just transition into a new position because every level is higher. So time management is my thing.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Listen.
Priorities.
I'm signing up for the classes. That's all I'm saying. And so, wow. So, so I was going to go into asking you to giving us some keys to building the best team for our business or our brand. What would you say are just a couple keys that you would say? You could give one or two. You know, we want you to save some for the webinars and stuff, because people are gonna buy into this. They really are, because it's Yeah.
I would think number one is being honest. Just being honest. Communication, and I always have a positive attitude in everything I do. I always keep a positive outlook. And to build your brand, you just gotta, when you create the right one, you just gotta be consistent. You just gotta be consistent. You gotta stay with it. You gotta be patient with your brand. And always put people first. And once you put the people first, everything else will just fall in line. But being consistent is number one. Yes.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. So I do want to ask you, I know we talked about fear earlier and how you overcame that. You went over that, but can you tell us, give us a sneak peek or possibly something that was the most challenging thing that you faced thus far? And how did you overcome that? You talked about fear, but was there some huge challenge within the vision or something God had called you to do that you had to overcome? Can you give us a sneak peek or talk about that a little bit, and how did you succeed past that or go past that?
Not being patient, just want things to fall in place, just want everything quick. And God had to, like the new business I just opened, it took me 6 years, but it's open.
Yes, congratulations.
It took, and I'm like, oh, okay, I don't have the research to do this. And it took me just like management. time management, saving, making sacrifice, things that I didn't want to do. Well, God had to take me through that and say, anything is worth having, it's worth working for.
That's so good.
that is so important. I mean, everything is not going to quit, and people need to stop looking at someone else's journey.
Woo! Yes! Oh my gosh!
You don't know the sacrifice. You don't know the sweat equity that they put in that. They put years. You don't know. You know, they make themselves down and get back up. So when we stop looking at that and just focus on what our journey and what God gave us, our vision, and just work on that, everything else will fall in line. But you got to be patient. You have to be coachable, and you got to be consistent. Yes. Once you line all that up, everything else will fall in line. It'll be easy.
That's good. So so anything you can overcome anything on your God path. That is so good. On the path that God has paid for you. And oh my goodness. And I'll just briefly right. I'll just briefly touch on this part of what you just said. Oh my goodness, about comparison. Goodness gracious, comparison can kill. It really can. When somebody is comparing their life to somebody else, it literally can kill them, because they are going after something they weren't built for. And if we learn to stay in our own lanes, we literally will get everything that God has for us. And we're going to have the grace to succeed, the grace to proceed. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is really, really good. And so I guess so as we are kind of wrapping things up, what are the most, I know we've talked about, oh my goodness, so much. You've given us so much wisdom up on here already. But the last question was, what are the two most important things that you believe that every leading lady should possess? What are the two most important things that you think every leading lady should possess when she's, carrying out the call, carrying out the everything? We've talked about so much. So if there's anything else, if there's anything else that you want to add to that, you can go ahead and add to it.
Okay. The most important things with me is, I think, it's just like I said, being honest, communicating, just integrity, just always treat people right. Just, stay positive, just stay connected with the right people. Everything look good, may not be good. Always do your research. Just always invest in yourself. Be coachable, please. Learn how to be quiet, listen more, and always just read, and just time management. And just stay focused. Yes. You all heard this first. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for being on here. This has been such a blessing, and I know that other people are going to want to connect with you. So can you tell us, what do you have going on right now, and how can people connect with you so that they can learn about the things you're doing in 2020? Okay. I'm on Facebook at Tanya's Homes Morris. I'm on Instagram at Mrs. Tanya Morris. Yes. You can also email me at tanyare20@yahoo.com.
Okay. Perfect. Yes. So thanks again for being on here. You guys make sure you are so welcome. You make sure that y'all connect with her, and because I know that you will be blessed, and I will be signing up for the classes as well. And then I want to remind you guys too, I do have products. So make sure you go to Amazon to get my book, The Loud Secret. And then you can go get my other book, my workbook about preparing yourself. If you want to be in a relationship, if you are thinking about dating, let's deliberate. Let's talk about the things that we need to go, do, like going through our healing process. You don't want to bleed on somebody that had nothing to do with your past hurt. So we want to prepare ourselves the best that we can so that we can present the best version of ourselves to the right person. So guys, go ahead and get that Singles Let's Deliberate. That is on Amazon. And then I have my the latest, I have my Queens Get Kings and Kings Get Queens brand coming out. So you guys go ahead, grab that. We got the male version for the kings out there, because we really need to know our worth. We have to understand that we are royalty, and we don't have to settle for less. We have to position ourselves properly so that we can attract who we're supposed to have. So, and that's with everything in life. So you guys definitely support. You can definitely subscribe to the podcast EmpowerMe with Ari. Reach out to me on all the social media sites at Ari Holmes on Instagram and Facebook. And then, as I always like to say, remember to renew your mind. It is the gold mine. Love you guys.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.